Shalom. Thank you for joining us. It's Yom Kippur, which is a very special day. I'm wearing a white shirt, light-colored pants. We like to think of ourselves as being clean and pure. May I show you something special? This is one of the most important parts of being Jewish. This is a very special closet. You have closets at home, but you don't have the Torahs at home the way we have the Torahs here. Do you notice which color they're wearing? We have special white garments for our Torahs. Even our Torahs want to be seeing themselves as clean and pure. Yom Kippur is a day when we do our very best to make our minds and our hearts clean and pure. And we do some singing, and we also do other things. I want to show you something special. I don't think I've shown you this before. Sometimes when people who are Jewish want to concentrate, they put a special kind of a garment or a piece of clothing on. This is called a talis. And you see which color it is. It's white and blue. And I put it over my head, and maybe your moms or dads put one on, and sometimes I put it over my head to close my eyes, to concentrate on the things that I'm thinking about and praying and saying to God. I have a friend, his name is Gadiel. He's going to join me. He's going to show you his talit. And you see it's white and bluish green, and I could put on another talit too. It's shaped a little bit differently. This got white with kind of green stripes. And sometimes I feel like I'm snuggling, feeling better, feeling protected. And this is a very big talit or talis. You see it's got white with black stripes on it. This is from my grandfather. So even though my grandfather died a long time ago, he was very, 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 very old, I still feel like I'm almost hugging my grandfather. Who comes to visit you in your homes? Do you have any parents or grandparents or family members or friends who come to visit you in your homes? I've got a song that I want to teach you about your home. First, can you do this? This is La La in sign language. The song goes like this. La 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 Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkano techa Yisrael Yisrael Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkano techa Yisrael La 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 la. That is a very old song and prayer. It comes from the Torah, and it talks about how our homes are beautiful. What makes your home beautiful? Is it the furniture? The paint? Maybe the clothes that you wear, or maybe pictures on the wall? What else makes your home beautiful? How about the family and friends that live in your home and come to visit? How about the way you and I act and talk? And if we act with love and smiles and warmth, our homes are beautiful. What happens if we use the wrong kind of voice, the outside voice inside, or the wrong kinds of words, and we're not so nice? What happens to our homes? I think our homes become less beautiful. Well, this song, La 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 La, reminds us that we want to keep our homes beautiful by helping and loving and acting the right way inside our homes. There's another song, another prayer, and you know it. It's the Shema, one of the most important Jewish ideas of all time. It's pay attention to everybody else who's Jewish, and everybody else has to pay attention to us too. We all take turns, and we're talking about God. It's also in sign language, and you know this, but let's practice. It goes like this. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Once more. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. I want to share a story with you. Oops. I want to share a story with you. This is a story about a rabbi, and he had lots of friends, and every day, all the people in town would come to visit the rabbi. He would sit, he'd be in his home, and he wanted to sometimes eat his meal or even read a book, but people were always knocking on the door. The woman who sold eggs, the man who was the teacher, the little boy who liked telling stories. Every single day they kept knocking on the door. After a while, he began to get a headache. He had no time for himself. One day, he had such a headache, he put up a sign, absolutely no visitors. I need to be by myself. The next day, nobody came to his house. It was quiet. He could relax. He enjoyed the peace and quiet. He ate his meal. He went for a long walk. He enjoyed looking at the trees. It was quiet and peaceful. But the next day, he noticed that it was still very quiet, almost too quiet. He went out into the street and he saw a woman. Her name is Shana. And he asked, Shana, how come you haven't come by my house to visit? Well, you put up a sign saying, don't visit. So I stopped visiting. The next day he was walking along and he saw a teacher named Yankel. Yankel, I kind of miss you. How come you haven't stopped by? Well, you put up a sign, no visitors, so I stopped coming. And as the rabbi went throughout the entire town, everybody said the same thing. You put up a sign saying no visitors, so he stopped coming. The next day was Rosh Hashanah. The rabbi ate his apples and honey all by himself. It tasted sweet, but it wasn't as delicious as before. And then he went to the shul. He said all of his prayers on Yom Kippur. And when he got to the part that said, I'm sorry, he started thinking more and more about what it means to be, I'm sorry for hurting other people's feelings. Then Yom Kippur was over, and he built his sukkah. And normally people come to visit him in the sukkah, but nobody came to the sukkah. He left his sukkah and walked all around town. He asked people one by one, please come visit me in the sukkah. But they said, Rabbi, you hurt our feelings. You said you didn't want anybody to come. And now we're going to the sukkah of other people. The rabbi realized that when he put up the sign saying absolutely no visitors, he had hurt people's feelings. He did not want to hurt people's feelings. And so one by one, he went through the entire town, went up to every single person, and he apologized. That's what Yom Kippur is all about, apologizing. He said, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings. Please come back to visit. And one by one, people began to visit. Then the rabbi put up another sign. He said, please don't visit in the afternoon when I'm napping, but come any other time. And all of the friends began to come back, and they remained friends for many years to come. Yom Kippur is about saying, I'm sorry. Yom Kippur is about realizing that if we act in a certain way, we might hurt people's feelings. There's a very special song on Yom Kippur. It's a song, it's a prayer, and it's in Hebrew, and you might see people doing something a little strange. You might see them tapping their hand against their chest over their hearts. The heart is where we symbolically think our emotions are. And so I want to teach you this song a little bit in English, a little bit in Hebrew. We're going to start in Hebrew, and I want you to try to follow along with me. It goes like this. Ay, 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 ay. Ashamnu. You try. Ashamnu. Bagadnu. Bagadnu. Gazalnu. Gazalnu. Dibarnu dofi. Dibarnu dofi. Ay, 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 ay. And that means we hurt feelings, we teased, we broke things, we forgot to say I'm sorry. Ay, 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 ay. Ashamnu. Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu dofi, ay, 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 ay. We yelled, we took things without permission, we forgot to pay attention to how others feel. Ay, 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 ay. And now I'm going to ask you a question. If you hurt somebody's feelings and then you say, I'm sorry, how do you feel? I know that when I apologize, I feel better. So Yom Kippur, which is the day where we remind ourselves to say, I'm sorry, and to pay attention to other people's feelings, actually helps us too. That's the main idea about Yom Kippur. You've learned a lot about Yom Kippur. You've learned that we often wear white. We wear a tallis that can have lots of different colors. We have different songs and prayers. People come together. And at the end of the day, we feel much, much better. And we're going to conclude with the song. It's Oseh Shalom. And Oseh Shalom means let there be peace in the world. Thank you for sharing time with me this Yom Kippur. I'm glad that you came. And I hope that you and your family are very healthy, happy, and safe in the coming year. L'Shana Tova, a sweet new year. Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom Bimramah Uyaseh Shalom Leinu Veyam Kol Yisrael Veimeru Amen Imeru Amen Oseh Shalom Bimramah Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Veyam Kol Yisrael Veimeru Amen Imeru Amen Oseh Shalom Bimramah Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Veyam Kol Yisrael